everyone. So today's topic of discussion is extraintestinal manifestations of inflammatory bowel disease, shortly known as IBD. So up to one third of IBD patients have at least one extraintestinal disease manifestation. Let's begin our discussion with dermatologic manifestations in IBD. So first one is erythema nodosum. So erythema nodosum occurs in up to 15% of Crohn's disease patients and 10% of ulcerative colitis patients. If you see the image, you can see the reddish color lesion over the lower legs. So the lesions of erythema nodosum are hot red tender nodules measuring up to 1 to 5 centimeter in diameter and are found on the anterior surface of lower legs, ankles, calves, thighs and arms. Coming to the second one, it is pyoderma gangrenosum, which is seen in 1 to 12% of ulcerative colitis patients and less commonly in Crohn's colitis. These lesions are commonly found on the dorsal surface of the feet and legs, but may occur on the arms, chest, and stoma or the body, and even the face. You can see the image of pyoderma gangrenosum. So, other common lesions, skin lesions, would include perianal skin tags, which are usually found in 75 to 80% of patients with Crohn's disease, especially with those who have colon involvement. And oral mucosal lesions are also seen often in Crohn's disease patients and rarely in ulcerative colitis patients. These include aphthous stomatitis and cobblestone lesions of the buccal mucosa. Coming to rheumatological manifestations of IBD, peripheral arthritis develops in 15 to 20% of inflammatory bowel disease patients and is more commonly seen in Crohn's disease than ulcerative colitis and worsens with exacerbations of bowel activity. The peripheral arthritis is asymmetric polyarticular, that is involves multiple joints, and migratory. It migrates from one joint to other joint and most often affects large joints of upper and lower extremities. Coming to ankylosing spondylitis, it occurs in about 10% of IBD patients and is more common in Crohn's disease than ulcerative colitis. Ocular manifestations of IBD. The incidence of ocular complications in IBD patients is 1 to 10%. The most common ocular manifestation is conjunctivitis, followed by anterior uveitis or iritis, and episcleritis. So the symptoms include ocular pain, photophobia, blurred vision, and headache. Hepatobiliary manifestations of IBD. Hepatic steatosis, that is accumulation of fat in liver, is detectable in about one half of the abnormal liver biopsies from the patients with Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. Patients usually present with hepatomegaly. Second manifestation is cholelithiasis, that is formation of stones in gallbladder, occurs in 10 to 35% of Crohn's disease patients with ileitis or ileal resection. This gallstone formation is caused mainly by malabsorption of bile acids. Coming to the third manifestation, primary sclerosing cholangitis. You can see this image. Primary sclerosing cholangitis is a disorder characterized by both intrahepatic and extrahepatic bile duct inflammation and fibrosis, frequently leading to biliary cirrhosis and hepatic failure. 5% of patients with ulcerative colitis have primary sclerosing cholangitis, but 50 to 75% of patients with primary sclerosing cholangitis have inflammatory bowel disease. Urologic manifestations of IBD. The most frequent genitourinary complications are calculi, urethral obstruction, and ileal bladder fistulas. The high frequency of nephrolithiasis, that is formation of stones in the kidneys, occurs in patients with Crohn's disease following small bowel resection. You can see the image. We show the kidney stones in minor and major calyces of the kidney and stones in ureter. So calcium oxalate stones develop secondary to hyperoxaluria, which results from increased absorption of dietary oxalate. Thromboembolic disorders in IBD. Patients suffering from inflammatory bowel disease have an increased risk of both venous and arterial thrombosis, even if the disease is not active. And the last one is metabolic bone disorders. The patients suffering from inflammatory bowel disease, that is almost 14 to 42% of patients, have low bone mass. And there is also increased risk in these patients because of medications such as glucocorticoids, methotrexate, and total parenteral nutrition. This patient might have further low bone mass. And also malabsorption and inflammation mediated by interleukin 1, interleukin 6, and tumor necrosis factor and other inflammatory mediators also contribute to low bone density. And in these patients, we also should observe that there is an increased incidence of hip, spine, wrist, and rib fractures, which is seen in almost 36% of patients in Crohn's disease and 45% in ulcerative colitis.